Hi everyone, Namaste, and welcome to this new video which contains my current experiences and explanations on the definitions and differences between failure and success, as well as its relationship to finding meaning in life, with the ultimate end goal to help us to maximize our own unique talents and abilities and become the best versions of ourselves. My name is Jari Sanou. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you in advance for thinking about these topics, for sharing your own perspectives with us, and for helping us to improve these perspectives, to expand our combined knowledge. And why I wanted to talk about this is mainly because we can often experience struggle when we're trying to maximize our potential, by not having reached our goals as fast as we wanted to. And because this can cause us thinking and claiming that we've been a failure, which can in turn further demotivate us from trying something new. And another reason for this topic was because I've also seen people claim that they've been successful because they had achieved their goal, like getting promoted or winning a competition. But I currently believe that neither of these claims are necessarily true, because I currently think that we've only truly failed when we haven't yet looked for an explanation that can make sense of why we failed, as well as that we've only ever truly succeeded when we have looked for an explanation of why we succeeded as well. Because only an increased understanding is how we can most likely replicate our success, and therefore can further maximize our potential, as well as how we can give meaning to our life. For an increased understanding allows us and other people to learn from our experiences, whether that experience happens to be a win or a loss. And this would mean that failure is only failure when we haven't yet looked for an explanation that can make sense of why this failure occurred. And finally, that realizing this can bring us more happiness more easily, which we can then share with other people to increase our combined creative potential and give even more meaning to our lives. And so in this video, I will further explain why I currently believe this by using quotes from Thomas Edison and other famous people who have succeeded in reaching their goals despite their failures, and that learning how to deal with failure can be the key to success. So let's get into it. So I've experienced myself that succeeding in improving in these areas like health, work, and hobbies hasn't always been easy, and sometimes can even take a long time. Especially when I myself tried many different strategies without succeeding in reaching the goal, such as winning more tennis matches or simply getting better grades. And that the more this happened, the more I thought that I'd been a failure, and sometimes even that I was simply not made for success, because I thought that successful people wouldn't fail as much as I did, and so I could often feel quite sad and maybe even depressed. But then I came across a quote by Thomas Edison from when he had finally invented the light bulb after 1,000 unsuccessful attempts, with the reporter then asking him, "Mr. Edison, how did it feel to fail 1,000 times?" And Edison replied, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. I've just found 1,000 ways that didn't work." And this drastically changed how I looked at my own failures. Instead of looking at them as a sign of me not being good enough, I started seeing them as a sign that I simply needed to better understand why my strategy didn't work in achieving my goal, and therefore simply as being the next step in getting closer to the end goal, as well as a sign of opportunity that I could further improve my strategy. And in that way, by trying to improve my understanding, by looking for an explanation that could make sense of why I hadn't succeeded yet, and therefore trying to learn from my experience as well as possible, I think this has been a major reason why I've reached some of my own difficult end goals, such as me finally getting my driver's license after 5 tries over a long 5-year period. Furthermore, I found that many more successful people have said similar things about failure, such as Samuel Beckett's quote, "Ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. And Confucius' quote, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." And then I also realized that simply getting closer to the end goal through better understanding of why the failure occurred, or simply to learn from our mistakes, was the way many successful people likely ended up succeeding in the end. And knowing this made me feel much happier. And we can explain this happiness through better understanding, not just because I got closer to my end goal, but also because I had now learned a way that either did or did not work, along with an explanation for why this happened, which could then help others to learn from my experience as well, and therefore that I could further help to maximize our potential as humanity and give more meaning to life. And because of these reasons, I currently think that we have only ever truly failed if we haven't yet looked for an explanation that makes sense of why we haven't succeeded yet. And that if we have come up with a sensible explanation, then we have already gotten closer to our goal, and we have already succeeded. Because we are one step closer to our end goal, simply by increasing our understanding of failure and of success. And that an increased understanding is definitely something we can be happy about. Not only because we're closer to our goal, but also because other people can now learn more from this experience as well, which further maximizes our combined potential and helps us to give more meaning to our life. I really hope that this video has given you a better understanding of this perspective on what the definitions are of failure and success, and that it's helped you to further maximize your potential. Also, please feel free in the comments below to share your own thoughts on what defines failure and success, as well as to share your own experiences when trying this strategy out for yourself. And as always, if you have any questions, suggestions for topics you want me to discuss, or other comments, also please feel free to ask them in the comments, in an email, or any other way you can reach me, so that we can improve these concepts, practice our discussion skills, and learn more from and about each other, and become closer to the best version of ourselves. Once again, thank you so very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.